Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the first presentation in our Assurity webinar series. This morning, we will be going over some great term sales ideas with the wonderful Morgan Hohbein from Assurity Life out of Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys are not here to listen to me talk, so we'll just jump right into it. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. We will make sure they all get answered at the end of the presentation. So thanks again for joining us, and I'll hand it off to Morgan.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Good morning, everyone. Like Sean said, my name is Morgan, and I'm with Assurity Life Insurance. And as the screen says, we're going to be talking about term life, and we're really going to be focusing on mortgage and income protection. So let's get started here. Again, my name is Morgan Hohbein. I'm Regional Sales Coordinator at Assurity Life Insurance. Paige Phelps is my partner in crime, so you might see that name a little bit too, but we work very closely with Art Jetter and really appreciate that partnership there. A little bit about who we are. We are a mutual organization based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, so neighbors to Art Jetter out in Omaha. We have an A- AM Best rating and tons of variety in our portfolio. We have products on the life side, health, and then annuities as well. And we're very community focused. We are a certified B Corporation, which you can see throughout our building located in downtown Lincoln, and just our various volunteer opportunities, very involved in the community. So we really like to take that and put it into our work as well in our business and our products. On today's agenda, we're going to go over the term highlights. Just want to make sure that you guys know the specifics of the product and are able to kind of know it in and out. We'll go over some sales ideas and tools, which is really going to focus mainly on mortgage protection, and we're also going to go over some of those living benefit riders as well. And then we're going to go over the process. We're really going to jump into the EApp process because that's going to be a really important component of being able to access that accelerated underwriting portion of the term product. So we're going to go through an EApp and make sure that you guys have that nailed down as well, because I think that's an important part, is to just know that it's a really easy process to work through. So a good quote here that we got that you actually should hear a lot from consumers: we want more options, less cost, less time. So everyone wants the coverage, but they don't want to spend a lot of time and effort doing it with lengthy medical exams, turning in financial verification, all of that. But they still want the coverage. They want it to be affordable, and that's where our term product comes in. So going through our highlights, we have very flexible face amounts starting all the way down at $25,000, which you don't see with a lot of carriers, all the way up to $10 million on all underwriting classes. So a ton of variation there, very flexible, so we can really make it fit in with any client that you have in mind. And you can really overcome client objections with that return of premium benefit rider, which is a huge piece that we're going to talk about today and go into a lot more detail in. A lot of people will object by saying, what if I don't use it by the end of the term period? Am I just wasting my money, whatnot? And showing them that return of premium and that schedule is really going to help them overcome those objections and make them feel secure about spending that money each month on that term policy. Also have flexible conversion options. So you can convert to any of our permanent life products, which include whole life, single premium whole life. We have a current assumption universal life as well. So there isn't just one conversion product that you can convert to at the end of that term period. You can convert to any of our whole life products and get all the benefits of those. We have level term periods of 10, 15, 20, and 30, and your premiums will stay the same the whole time. And our underwriting classes are listed there as well. We can also go down into table ratings as well. So our accelerated accelerated underwriting is a really big part of our term product that we want to really highlight here, and we'll go into more detail on it on the next slide as well. But you do need to use the EApp in order to access this accelerated underwriting. So it kicks in at ages 18 to 50 for $500,000 and under for that death benefit, $350,000 and under for the older ages. So that accelerated underwriting, what that means is you will receive an instant decision at the end of that EApp, and it could go straight to issue if you keep it under those limits. So it's not quite non-med, but it's as close to non-med as you can get. And they could fly through without having to do any sort of medical testing or phone interview or anything like that. We've had some recently with underwriting where they've gone through and done the EApp, and at the end they've gone straight to issue. So they've gotten the policy in hand in 4 days. $350 and under for the older ages, like I mentioned. So here's a little bit about kind of how the process works. It's just a 4-step, really easy process. So again, the face amounts are there. The height and weight need to be inside the allowable limits. So you'll start an e-application, and we'll get that HIPAA authorization from them. That underwriting decision and that engine is going to be running in the background while we're collecting all of that data and that information. So we're going to be running that MVR, the MIB, prescription drug history, LexisNexis score. And so based on all of that data, we're going to let you know via an instant decision at the end of that EApp if it's approved and it's going straight to issue. If it's referred to underwriting, we just need an underwriter's review or a possible medical exam or phone interview, or if it's rejected. So it'll really let you know kind of where you're at, gets rid of any applications that aren't in good order, so you don't even have to get that through underwriting or anything like that. Then we just need a e-signature at the end of that application if it's approved or referred to underwriting, and then we just submit it. And then it will either go straight to issue, which is obviously what we're all shooting for, or we'll head to an underwriter's review, which could just be a simple phone interview, or they just need to look over something quick, or we could need a medical exam as well. Just kind of depends what we're working with. I will say that since we released this product in November of 2017, we've done a major upgrade to our underwriting engine in the background of things, and we've seen our straight-through processing percentages go from in the teens up to recently 44%. So we're really shooting for that 50% for straight-through processing, meaning once you get to the end of that e-application, they're getting approved and going straight to issue. So I think that's a huge thing, and that's really helps with our processing times. That's helped agents get their apps in and processed quicker, get paid quicker. So it's really a win-win for everyone. That customer gets their policy in hand quickly and their coverage goes into effect quickly, which is a great thing for them as well and gives them that peace of mind. So wanted to share that little bit with you. Another big thing with our term product would be the living benefit riders. So we talked about the return of premium benefit, which I'll go into a little bit more in depth on a couple of the next slides. But two that I also want to bring up are the critical illness benefit rider and the monthly disability income rider. So when we're talking about mortgage and income protection, mortgages are, of course, one of the biggest expenses that people have on a monthly basis, as well as their income, which people don't think about. So they're wanting to protect both their mortgage, which can be thousands and thousands of dollars, as well as their monthly income that provides for their family, that pay the utilities, that pay the insurance bills, that puts food on the table. So by providing those extra benefits on the side, such as the critical illness benefit, monthly disability, you're not just protecting your family or your mortgage in the case of an early death, but you're protecting your family and your mortgage and all of that in case of a critical illness or a disability. So they're still living, but they're unable to work. So that critical illness benefit rider, it pays a lump sum cash benefit upon diagnosis of a covered critical illness, which if you look in our product guide, which is on a SureLink, you'll be able to see a chart of what those covered illnesses are. And we do have 3 categories. It's heart and stroke, cancer, which includes invasive and non-invasive cancer, and then another category as well, which includes things like severe burns, paralysis, organ transplant, and all of that. So it's a separate cash benefit apart from the death benefit that they receive with the term policy. So completely separate pools of money, which is awesome. And then we do pay once in each category. So whatever benefit they select for that critical illness rider, we'll pay it up to 3 times. So it's not just a one and done product. So keep that in mind as one of the living benefit riders. Another great one to protect their income in case of a disability would be the monthly disability income rider. So if your client has thought about getting a disability policy at all, but they're a little intimidated by all the bells and whistles that go into it, this is an easy way to get them disability coverage, but it gives you the standard 2-year benefit period, 90-day elimination period, just a straight monthly benefit of up to $3,000, so they can select up to $3,000. No additional medical underwriting, financial verification, none of that. So it's really easy and simple to just add it onto that term policy. So really, if you are looking at getting a term policy, you need to make sure that you also discuss with them those living benefits, because we don't want to just protect them in case of death. We want to protect their mortgage, their income, all of that in case of absolutely anything. So critical illness, disability, and you can add those riders on for a very affordable cost and just wrap it all into one policy. That's why I think those are so important. So now I want to jump into more of the return of premium, because I think that's a very important rider, and really where we've seen the most success with this term product is when people add that return of premium rider onto it. And then also a little bit more of a deeper dive into that mortgage protection. So this is a clip from an illustration. So if you've run an illustration with us before, this will look familiar. So when you run an illustration, we will pull a percentage schedule for you in order to show that client how that premium schedule works and what it will look like if they let the policy lapse, if they cancel it at some point, or when they make it to the end of their term period. So this one, I believe, is a 35-year-old who has a $250,000 death benefit, 20-year term period. So just to give you some perspective at what we're looking at here, because that term schedule is based off of their age, the death benefit they selected, and the term period. So this particular person won't start receiving anything back until year 7. So they'll need to make it to at least year 7 before they're able to receive any of those premiums back that they paid in. But at the end of those 20 years, if they make it there, they're going to receive over $15,000 back from us. And those are all their premiums, including rider premiums that they paid in. So keep in mind that does include those rider premiums. It's based off a percentage schedule. You can receive up to 100% back. And again, I do want to emphasize that they will receive at least a percentage back if they let it lapse or cancel it. I don't think a lot of people have that lapse part built into their ROP. So I think that's an important thing as well. Always add it to younger ages. It's extremely affordable, but I would say we've been adding it to just about everyone. And it's our rates look really great with the ROP rider attached to that term. So it's a great way to overcome objectives, like I mentioned already. If they're having issues with having to pay that premium each month and just biting the bullet and doing it, they know they need the coverage, but they're just nervous about putting their money into something that they won't see a return on since it's not a cash value policy. This is a great way to give them that term level benefit, but with some sort of return back. So great way to overcome objections. Showing them this percentage schedule always kind of gives them a peace of mind. So this is a great thing to show them, and this is included on all illustrations when you add that ROP rider on there. So moving into that mortgage protection side, From a LIMRA study, this quote says, over half of consumers say one of the top reasons for owning life insurance is to help pay off a mortgage. I would say that is almost always number one. People want to make sure that their houses are paid off, that their families are taken care of, and if they can take care of the biggest expense for their family in case of their death, then that's all they really need. So that's kind of what, when people are wondering what kind of coverage they need, how much they truly do need, it's important to kind of sit down and go over what their most important assets are and what they want to protect for their family. So again, it's about protecting your client's largest monthly expenses, and their mortgage is most likely going to be their largest expense. So you want to sit down with them, determine the current balance that they have left on their mortgage and how many years are left as well. Then you can choose the benefit amount and the term period that kind of matches along with that. So I think it's, since people worry about the cost, they also worry about the time. So if they only need $200,000 in order to pay off the rest of that mortgage that they have, then give them that $200,000 20-year term and nothing more. If that's their main concern, that's their only concern, then they'll qualify for that accelerated underwriting and get them the lowest price possible while still protecting their entire mortgage. And then we talked about choosing the benefit amount that kind of fits with what they have left. And then you want to consider customizing with those optional riders. So we already talked about the ROP, the critical illness, and the disability income. So it's really about protecting that mortgage and protecting that income, because there's a great chance actually, that they're going to get sick or become disabled before they die. There's a much greater chance of that happening. So you want to make sure that they are protecting that income in their family and their mortgage in case absolutely anything happens. So that's why those living benefit riders are great, and it's definitely something to bring up. So the term product, easy and affordable. Starting with that very first quote that we saw, that's what every consumer wants. They want it to be low cost. They want it to be simple with no medical exams, and that's what this term product with the accelerated underwriting can give them. You can get a decision in minutes by using that EApp, which I'm going to go through the EApp here with you in just a few minutes and kind of show you how easy that is. Accelerated underwriting could mean no medical exams, which everyone's 100% on board with, I'm sure. And the premiums stay level. They will not change for the rest of the term. So unlike other bills in your life, utility bills, student loans, all of that, a lot of that's going to keep going up as the years go on, but these premiums are going to stay level. So you can really assure them with that. And then lock it in with the ROP. So we're going to go through the EApp process here. It's going to be a lot of slides, so I'm just going to kind of move through it here slide by slide and kind of quickly here, but we're going to start with just the basic stuff. So we work on the iPipeline platform. So if you've worked on that before, this is going to look very familiar, and this is linked to your AssureLink account. So if you're contracted with us already and have an agent ID, you can create an agent portal account on AssureLink and access the EApp here. So if you are not yet contracted, or if you need help setting that AssureLink account up, go ahead and contact ArtJetter, or you can contact Assurity as well, and we can help you get that set up here. So what you'll want to do is start here by selecting, just putting in the basic information of your client, just so we get the information in there in case you need to go back and pick up where you left off. So first and last name, date of birth or age, their gender. Then you want to make sure you get the correct state in there, because we want to make sure we get make sure that the product is available in that state and what options are available as far as riders and all of that. Then select the product type. So we'll select term. There is only one term option now with Assurity. It's called Assurity term. So you'll see the term life. So we have, you can run quotes or illustrations, the iGo EApp, and then there's also a tele-app available as well. So we're going to look at the EApp, but just as a side note, the tele-app, Really, it just takes you through putting the basic information of the client in, and then you're going to submit that application, and we're going to go ahead and contact them to set up a phone interview to finish up those underwriting questions. So it takes a lot less time on the agent's end, and we do all the underwriting questions and finish up that application with them when they're able to set up that phone interview. But we're going to go through that EApp today because that's how you're going to get that instant decision and initiate that accelerated underwriting. So again, we're going to start with just that application setup. So super simple. Make sure you get their social security number in there. And for their email address, this is also very important. You want to make sure that they have their own personal email address, not a family member's, not their husband's. Make sure it's one that they have access to because that's what they're going to use for their e-signature. So I want to make sure that they have access to that. They can also add any other insured or children on this page as well. Again, more of the application setup. Are you answering these applications in Nebraska? You're going to want to set that term policy duration. Are you a citizen? All of that basic stuff. And then you're going to lock that data that you already entered in, and you're going to continue to that HIPAA signature process. So we want to get that HIPAA signature before we can continue on with those underwriting questions. That will give us access to their script, their prescription, drug check, MIB, health records, LexisNexis, all of that. I also want to point out, as you notice on the left, there are green check marks. That means you have completed that section and everything looks good to go. If there's a red X, that means something is not complete on there. And you notice we selected the lock data, so it created a lock symbol next to those now, which means you'll have to unlock them in order to go back, but that means they are complete still. So you locked it, and we are sending a HIPAA signature request to their personal email address that you gave us already. It's going to ask you what signature option you would like. So they can do a face-to-face signature if you're sitting across from them, or you can email the signature over. And again, we do need that HIPAA signature before we're able to continue with the underwriting process. So you can review the HIPAA with them. Actually, you need to if you're sitting across from them. So review that all with them. And then, again, this is what the e-signature looks like, the face-to-face, if you're not emailing it to them if they're in the same room as you. So we'll complete that, check in the box, apply e-signature to HIPAA. So we've signed to that HIPAA, and now we can move forward with those other questions. So once we got that in the background of all of this, we're starting to run that MIB, the script check, MVR, all of the LexisNexis, all of that. So that's all working in the background to collect your underwriting questions that are personalized for that person. So we went through and did like the proposed insured, add the beneficiary, put if there's any existing insurance, so if they have any sort of other life policies that are active, and then the agent information. So you'll want to put in your agent ID, social security number, all of that. So you'll review and lock that data again, which is going to put locks on all of those sections that you completed and have green check marks next to. It will not let you move forward if you don't have those green check marks. So it's generating those questions for you. Like I said, it's already been running all of that stuff in the background. So now we're going to start that risk assessment. And these are reflexive questions. So as you answer them, it's not going to make you answer every single question. It's only going to make you answer the questions based on how you're answering them. So that's kind of nice. We do need the primary care physician, so put in all of that information in case we need to get medical records from them. Again, it will let you know when it's completed, and it'll have you wait for that underwriting decision. So this is where it's going to let you know if you are approved and what you're approved at, which is really nice. So it'll let you know what underwriting class you're given. So this person was given preferred non-tobacco. Otherwise, it'll say sent to underwriter for review, or it'll let you know if it is rejected as well. So that's nice because it's going to let you know how to proceed. this is what it'll look like if it needs to go to underwriting. So it'll say we need additional information to make this decision on the application. So after we sign it and submit it, we're going to send it to underwriting for review. So that's what the other decision is going to look like, or we'll just say rejected. Then we're going to move on to the premium payment. You can pay with a credit card when using the EApp only. So if you are using a paper app, you will have to send in a check or set up that automatic bank withdrawal with your checking account. You will not be able to do a credit card initially. You can call, if you're doing a paper app, you can call in after the fact and change it to a credit card. But that first initial payment will have to be a check or bank withdrawal. So you can do a credit card, automatic bank withdrawal, or set up a list bill, and you can draft the initial and recurring payments from that bank account or credit card, or just the recurring payments. So again, then you'll do the regular agent statement, and then it'll let you know if your application is complete and in good order. If you have all green check marks, so they're all locked, then you should be good to go. Anything with a red, you'll have to go back and complete. So you're going to lock that application and proceed to the final e-signature. And so that's going to look the same as the HIPPA signature did. If you are face-to-face, we'll do a face-to-face e-signature. Like we did, just review the application, make sure everything's correct before you submit it. Otherwise, you'll send one over to their personal email address. They'll sign it there, and you will receive an email as the agent both times letting you know that that signature is done, and you can go back in and finish that up. So go ahead and lock it and proceed to submit it. So again, very simple, that e-application process. And if you keep it under those accelerated underwriting limits, like we talked about based on their age, you can get that instant decision at the end and even have a chance to go straight to instant issue. So keep that in mind. We make it really easy. We've had agents that have gone through and gotten the straight through processing. Like I mentioned, we're at 44% right now, shooting for 50 this year. So a lot of agents are getting to the end of that and getting it issued within the same day or the next day. So it's moving really quickly, which is great for the client and great for you as well because you get paid faster. So all around, really good stuff happening with our term, especially with the ROP as well, since our rates look so good. So just wanted to share with you some more sales tools and places to get marketing information and sales ideas. And that's our microsite, assuritytermlife.com. And this is just a microsite that anyone can go to. You don't need a login in order to see anything there. So head there I think there's past webinars, there's marketing material that you can download, again, sales ideas and tools and all of that. So make sure to check that out. Along with AssureLink, I did talk about AssureLink already, but it is our agent portal. Again, you can order marketing materials from there and have them sent to you for free, so those physical ones. Or you can download or print any PDFs off of there as well. All of our product and underwriting guides are located there, and you can track your pending and active business there as well. So now I will open it up for some questions. I'm going to open up the chat box here, and Sean, let me know if you got any as well. So feel free.
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now.
Perfect.
Good one from Brad. What are the costs of the living benefit riders?
Obviously, it depends based on the person's age or whatnot. But just to give you, I guess, some estimates, I wouldn't, in the older ages, so closer to maximum issue age, if you're going to add that ROP, sometimes it will double the cost. But other than that, younger ages, I can't really tell you. Again, you'll have to go, you can go run a quote or an illustration on AssureLink, but the critical illness rider, for example, if you've ever looked at our critical illness standalone product, the pricing is pretty much the same, slightly less just because there's a few less covered illnesses in the standalone product. but the pricing should be very similar. But it does save you a policy fee to put it on that same policy. The disability rider is very affordable since it's the standard 2-year, 90-day elimination period and can only go up to $3,000 on that benefit. That one's very affordable as well, but our rates look awesome for the ROP, so I'd highly suggest going and just running some quotes on AssureLink or reaching out to ArtJetter and they can help you out.
Yeah, we can always run some quotes for you guys. Just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. They're coming in pretty good now. What is the maximum disability monthly income benefit amount we can get without an exam? Do you guys cap that on that accelerated underwriting scenario?
Did you say it was for the disability rider?
Yep, that disability rider.
Oh, yep, it is $3,000. So there's no extra medical underwriting that goes along with that. So if they need a medical exam for the term, then they'll have to do one, but you won't have to take one just for the disability rider.
Perfect. And the next one, do you offer own OC on disability?
Not for the disability rider. We do on the standalone disability product.
Perfect. That is all the questions I'm seeing right now. We'll hang out for a minute here, see if any more come up. Those were good questions.
Great.
And while we're waiting, just wanted to mention the next presentation we're going to do in the series is going to be at the same time next week. We're going to walk through some small business security through life insurance. So make sure you register, save your spot. It's going to be a pretty good presentation. And then, like we said, feel free to give us a call or even shoot us an email. We're always more than happy to help with quotes, case designs, get you any sales materials, marketing materials. Our phone number, if you don't have it, is 800-228-0008. Or always shoot us an email at life@jetter.com.
Cool. Perfect. Well, let me know if any more questions come in. Otherwise, thank you very much for having me and looking forward to the rest of the series.
Yep, it was a fantastic presentation. Thanks again, Morgan. I'm not seeing any questions, so I think we'll just go ahead and wrap it up.
Great.
So, great. I hope to see all of you again next week. Have a great day.
You bet. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks.